Mr. Howard is represented by counsel. Apparently that did come up in conversation, and that counsel was not present or notified of the meeting itself. Additionally, there were some concerns by Mr. Howard, at least related to me, about whether he was being recorded either by video or audio that was in place at that time. If that's the case, ask for an instruction from the court for that to be destroyed.
Well, I can tell you it's not recording, audio or visual. I don't know where he's getting that.
New lawyer made a mistake.
But I did go and see him. I just said I subpoenaed him. I went to the jail myself to subpoena him because I saw the state tear down their witness list. And I was concerned that they might not call Robert Howard, so.
Okay, that's fine. So you're, as an officer of the court, you're saying that there was no surreptitious recording of Mr. Howard?
I would have no reason to record it.
Okay, I'm just asking.
No, I didn't record it.
Okay, he says he didn't record.
Understood, Your Honor. The questioning that took place also was without the presence of Mr. Howard, because he was asked questions.
Well, Mr. Howard, but without his
without
counsel.
attorney, excuse me, because he was questioned not only about this case, but his federal case or potential exposure on that.
I didn't.
It's what was relayed to me. I was not there, Your Honor, so I can only relay
Right.
what the witnesses provided to me this morning.
I can tell you what I did ask him. The first question I asked him was whether he was represented in this case as a victim's rights attorney or anything like that. He said no. And then I asked him, are you represented in your federal case? He said yes. I asked him, are you represented in your state probation case? He said no. I did not ask him about his exposure. He then asked me, am I in any trouble? Do I need to be represented in this case? And I said, you're not in trouble, because he thought that maybe because I asked him the question of whether he had representation, that maybe the state was coming after him for some reason. And I told him, you're not in any trouble in this case. I don't know anything about your other cases, but that's it. I didn't ask him about his exposure in this federal case.
Okay, so what are you asking?
Only that in advance of his testimony next week, that if the defense is going to call him, we employ the same procedures we typically do, which is both sides meeting, discussing the impeachable issues as far as priors, suspending cases, those types of things before Mr. Howard takes his stand.
Okay.
That's normal.
Well, you have to disclose any impeachment material. You don't have to, I know, you don't have to go over your strategy, but if you are intending to impeach him with anything, you just have to make sure it's been disclosed, whereas otherwise, no.
He was deposed in the case, the state was present, they either death old paper copy or the digital copy, I have it, so.
Okay, so I guess what I'm hearing is if he made any statements to you when you met with him last night that you're going to use to impeach him, you have to disclose it.
There were none.
Okay, they're not going to use any statements that were made when Mr. McLyman met with them last night.
Yes, I'm just trying to determine if, these cartridge cases came from the same firearm and or the submitted firearm or not, and same for projectiles.
Okay. And you were able to determine, I guess what you were testifying to, you were able to determine that these two firearms, these rifles here, that these two rifles that were found in Sean Gathwright's house, they were used in some other October 7th, 2023 shooting?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
These two rifles, what are they connected to?
So I concluded that, sorry, let me refer to my notes, I apologize. That the,
Judge, I would object if the question is phrased, what are they connected to is vague.
I'm going to sustain the objection, rephrase.
What is the purpose of these, of showing these rifles to the jury?
Objection.
What is the purpose of showing why there's a safety on this firearm, on these rifles?
Oh my God, come on,
I don't
kid.
even know what the objection is at this point. There's
Oh,
no
come on,
basis,
don't get
it's just
frustrated.
An objection.
Don't get mad.
The speaking.
It's irrelevant and it's improper question.
It was elicited in front of the jury.
Chill.
If I allow the witness to testify, then that makes it relevant and material. Okay?
And if it's relevant, then I should be able to cross-examine on it.
I'm going to sustain
Can we come sidebar?
No.
So I can't argue, I can't come sidebar.
Mr. McLyman, please stop. It's improper,
It's disrespectful, too.
I asked to come sidebar.
and the answer is no, we don't need to sidebar it. If the witness was permitted to testify something, that makes it relevant and admissible.
I'm not arguing that, Judge. I just want to talk to her about what she testified to.
Listen, I've sustained the objection. Ask your next question.
Oh shit, that's not good. Damn.
But then she's taking photos and saving them to her phone of herself with gang members making gang signs.
My response to that is so what? Why does that matter?
Right.
Well,
Right.
to me, it seems like it goes to the weight the jury is supposed to give as opposed to admissibility.
But to the weight of what, Your Honor?
Okay, first of all, you guys stood up in opening statement, okay? And you told this jury, and there is no evidence she's a gang member. Or that she's associate of a gang member.
It's not just, it's further than that, Your Honor.
I'm not done. So you get up in opening statement and you say, this was just a romantic getaway. She thought she was going with her boyfriend somewhere. She didn't know any of these individuals involved. She had no idea that this was going to be a gang-related anything. That's what you told this jury in opening statement.
Yeah, specifically that she didn't know the individuals involved in this murder.
Okay.
And they haven't shown you any evidence of that.
yeah,
They're
but-
going on a rampage about 50 people that are not involved in this case. We did not say that she didn't know any gang members. What we said was that she did not know Davion Murphy, Rashad Murphy. We haven't heard anything about that. We heard Sean Gathwright's grandma testify. I've never seen her before. There's no evidence even that they even have a relationship outside of her knowing who she was. But again, Your Honor, what does that have to do with this murder? I'm sorry, counsel is like talking sideways in my ear, and it's very distracting.
Okay? All right, let's look at the next one, which is C14.
Wow.
Unfortunately, there is one other matter. Late last night, I became aware of the fact that several of the defense witnesses have been communicating with each other and watching the trial after the rule was invoked by the defense. So I am requesting of this court, or at least notifying this court that that's occurring, and requesting the witnesses be ordered again to stop communicating with each other and stop watching this televised broadcast.
They watching us.
Can you say which witnesses you referring to?
Miss Enright, Miss Lyle, and Miss Gathright or Nevea.
Oh.
I'm on the big effort.
Okay, well, Miss Enright and Miss Lyle have been communicating with each other, have been communicating with the co-defendant, getting daily updates up to yesterday as to what's happening in the trial, and speaking about their meeting together via Zoom, whether that's the truth or not, with the defense attorney.
Oh my God.
At the same time, so I'm not sure if that's accurate, but of course, if they are going to be testifying, I would like now for them to be instructed again to not be watching the trial if it's being broadcast. I'd like to address it.
I just want to parse that out. I want to make sure that we're saying what's accurate. You're saying that somebody spoke to a co-defendant. Which co-defendant are you referring to?
Sean Gathright.
All right, so I have no control over whether they speak to Sean Gathright. I can tell them not to do that, but I have no control over that. And I did not know that was happening. You also said that there was a Zoom. You're talking about this coming weekend or the one before?
This past weekend, they indicated that they were meeting with you, your office, the defense, about their testimony for witness preps together on Zoom.
What I'm asking is, who is the day? Who was meeting with us this weekend?
I presume the callers, or at least the person on the other end of the phone. So Mrs. Enright and Miss Lyle, the co-defendant's mother, who were listed.
Oh my
So, I
God.
don't call me with them, but if I did, there is no problem with us preparing our witnesses for trial the same way
Exactly.
the state prepares their witnesses for trial. The same way that the state talks to their witnesses outside, whether they're grouped together, whether they're separate. They spoke to witnesses. We speak to witnesses before trial. The court will give an instruction, a jury instruction, at the
This is
end of the
heating
trial,
up.
which says that it is not improper for the attorneys to talk to the witnesses.
Well,
So-
that is true.
It's improper for them to be prepped together on what their testimony is going to be, and it's improper that the defense invoked the rule of sequestration and that those witnesses have
my
been watching the
God.
trial ever since. So as we stepped out to instruct our witnesses, I'm just asking that the same be done and that the state be permitted to cross on that issue, which is not outside of the scope of relevant
You will
material
have that.
cross-examination.
Did you prep the witnesses together?
No. And the only thing I would agree with is, of course, once the rule is invoked, they should not be, I guess, paying attention to the trial, watching the trial. But I have no control of that.
I know. I'm assuming you told them, right? The rules of registration has been invoked.
I know particularly, I told Sean Gathwright's mother, Miss Locke. We told her.
So I tell you
Well,
what,
see, that's crazy. Okay, so the state, after we just went through the whole BS motion about getting, this video in, the video is coming in. Okay, so that's the first thing that they spent time arguing about. It's like 9:37, by the way, and they're supposed to start at 9. So the jury is still not even in the room. The second thing that they're arguing about right now is the state has an issue. They say that 3 of the defense's witnesses, the defense hasn't even started the damn case yet, like at least their side of it. 3 of their witnesses are talking to the co-defendant. But when they say that, we're thinking, how are y'all talking to Alicia? Like, that doesn't make sense. Sean Gathright is one of the co-defendants. Sean's mom has been talking to the other defendants and watching the trial and reporting to Sean what's going on. And so the defense team is like, we have nothing, we have no control over that. We're doing our jobs. We're prepping our witnesses. The witnesses should not be doing that. But I mean, it's a live televised trial. Hell, I was on the news yesterday in Florida. Like, it's so hard to contain this stuff. But also, if Sean and his mom are talking, are they not supposed to talk about his case? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So the state, they're crying right now. They're kind of crying. It's a little unfair. And I see the judge kind of siding with the defense on this with her questions, but you never know with this judge. So that's what's happening. Let's see how it shakes out.
Before these witnesses testify, I will allow, out of the presence of the jury, state you can question them on exactly what their knowledge is, who they had conversations with, what the discussion was, and then that way you'll know. And then if you deem it necessary, you can use it in cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like the same opportunity for Detective Ramos. I want to know if he's watching the portion of the trial.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Freeman, ask him. Are we ready to go otherwise?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Wow.
Your Honor, one other thing before we bring the jury
Yeah.
in.
Oh my God.
If I understand counsel right, because they invoked the rule of sequestration, they have only advised one of their witnesses about the rule?
I don't know.
Is that correct, counsel?
That's
Or-
correct.
Okay, so I would ask that they, as they're obligated to do when they invoke the rule, advise all of your witnesses, please.
Oh,
not to
God.
do What's
The
on,
unnecessary,
what's on court
the
TV.
way that counsel is speaking to defense, though, it's been
Right.
happening since day one.
But
It's
Ms.
very
White,
unnecessary,
I
Your
know, but
Honor.
here, Ms. White, this is the problem.
He needs to relax.
You invoked the rule of sequestration.
I understand that.
Okay, I'm making a statement, I'm not looking for responses, okay? You invoked the rule of sequestration. That means all witnesses, it's incumbent upon the lawyers, as the professionals that they are, to tell all of their witnesses as well. You're not to be discussing the case, you're not to be watching it on court TV, and apparently that didn't happen, right? Didn't happen. Inexcusable.
Well, Your Honor, we are,
Inexcusable.
if I may respond, we are professionals, just like every other attorney in this courtroom. The bigger point that I was making is that the way that Mr. Harmon has been speaking to this side of the table is unprofessional, it's disrespectful. He's done it in front of the jury as well, and there has not been any attempt by the court to intervene in that. So I want to make sure that it's on the record that it's inappropriate. The rising tone is unnecessary,
Yes.
and it's disrespectful, and it's
It is.
inappropriate.
Ms. White, everything that's happened in this trial is on the record. Everything's been videotaped, the conduct of everybody involved,
Right.
okay? And the failure of the defense to tell their own witnesses not to talk about the case is inexcusable, and that's a matter of record.
Wow.
We don't want to discuss it any further. I know.
What doesn't
We're
surprise
done.
the record is that they've had witnesses outside the courtroom discussing the case with each other, talking about the case, the prosecutors themselves.
Well, you should have brought it to my attention.
I'm doing it now because it's been an issue. They're apparently saying it's an issue for us, and they're doing it themselves.
Okay, let's bring in Detective Ramos. Ask him if he's been watching court TV about this case, and then we'll get going.
Chat.
Ms. Julio, Ms. Charles Jones's mother's attorney, I believe, has been sitting right behind the fence. And throughout this cross-examination, at times, aiming his phone, not saying he's observing anything to it, but aiming his phone in this direction. I think in the same way, the court instructed Mr. Coffey to move away from the state's table to protect the confidentiality of their discussions. The court should do the same and ask this attorney to sit over there where his client is and not behind the fence table where he can observe what we're doing during this delicate cross-examination if he so chooses.
Okay, what's the name of this attorney, you
I
know?
don't know the gentleman's name, but he's right there in the blue suit with his red tie.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right. Here's what's happening, chat. So I told you yesterday. Remember, I was telling you that I watched. It was like at midnight last night. That's why I'm so tired. I watched the mom's. I watched the full thing. I watched the mom go live. She went live around 12 yesterday during the lunch break, and she had mentioned that Julio Foolio's personal attorney is in the courtroom. Now, I guess he's sitting very close to the defense table, and they are not fans of the defense. Okay. So what this the most senior attorney, I don't know if he's the newest one or the most senior attorney. That's the attorney that did the opening argument. I didn't hear. I'm gonna go back to say if to see if he said motion for mistrial. I doubt it. But that's why she was like, okay, that sidebar was just random. But the gentleman in the green suit, he's the one that asked for the sidebar, because if you remember the proceedings earlier, remember they were complaining about, the prosecution was complaining about somebody being too close to their table that was, helping the defense, like gather the exhibits and stuff. They had him move the table. So now you have Julio Foolio's personal attorney with the mom sitting very, very close to the defense table, hearing everything, and also doing some things with his phone, right? So this gentleman, I mean, he's very attentive. If you notice, he has not performed any cross-examinations. He did the opening argument only, and this is probably the first time that he has spoken up this entire time. So that's what's going on. I'm going to rewind. I don't know if I heard motion for mistrial, but let's see what happens here.
Sure. Good morning.
Had he asked me, I would have certainly told him.
That's Foolio's attorney.
Checking my emails, as I've been doing throughout the whole trial.
Okay, and what is your name?
No party to the state of Florida.
Right, what is your name for the record?
Louis Fusco.
Okay.
Yep, that's him.
So have you been recording defense counsel and what they've been doing?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right, well,
I'm
maybe
not
just,
accusing you of that, Your Honor. I'm just saying,
okay.
for the sanctity and confidentiality of what we're doing, there's no reason for him to flip-flop sides. He's over there sometimes, over here when we get up from the table. I mean, we can sit over there with this client, and that, I think, would be fair to defense.
The record is 2 rows back in the middle of the courtroom.
Right, I agree. So, is it Fusco?
Fusco, yes, ma'am.
If you wouldn't mind, just during this part of the trial, if you would just sit on the aisle over there, thank you. It would alleviate any further concerns.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Just in the court where I was over there when his mother was present. She stepped out of the courtroom. I moved over to get a better view, not to look at anything that's in writing on the defense table. But
Better view of what?
the entirety of the trial and the public forum that we're currently in. I mean, had he asked me, I would have gladly explained that, but
Well, we're in the middle of the trial, and just have to-
Ms. Herrera, stop. Ms. Herrera, stop. I didn't ask you to talk.
I didn't know I had to ask.
Yeah,
I just
you
wanted to
do.
make a point.
You do. Stop, Ms. Herrera, you need to stop right now, because you know what? You've been making faces throughout this entire trial. This entire trial, yeah, you have been.
Okay.
And everything's been caught on video.
I know, and
And-
I also
and-
hope that the court has caught and noticed all of the gestures and the tone which was addressed yesterday to the state. But it's fine, no problem, I will do my best to.
Please, do your best. Yeah, and your attitude is very disrespectful. I'll note for the record. Okay, very good. If you wouldn't mind moving, let's bring him back in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh my word. This judge, Judge Sisco. What is going on, Judge?
All rise.
Sisco?